Hello everyone and welcome to The Letter. Now this is another horror game, although I believe it's more in the sort of graphic novel style than an actual horror game. But I think there may be jump scares too. So from what I read, this is a game where your choices affect the outcome of the story. And I think there's going to be a lot of talking in this, so I'm getting in what I need to say first. The Ermengarde Mansion. It was built for Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde of Luxbourne, humble ambassadors of peace and beloved by their people. Both were well known for their compassion and generosity, never failing to extend a helping hand to anyone in need. Under their influence and wealth, what was once a small, sleepy village grew to a prosperous and bustling town. However, the seasons of joy eventually ended when the good nobles perished at the hands of a great plague. Their riches and legacy were henceforth passed on to their only child, Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion has stood since the 1620s, a witness to a very long history of joy and pain. After Lady Charlotte committed suicide, the great house was eventually left uninhabited. And that is when it began. Surrounding villagers spoke of seeing and hearing unearthly things, of cries and howls that filled the night, and hearsay of a mysterious woman roaming the hallowed halls aimlessly. People who dared enter its walls were simply never heard from again. Even after 400 years, these stories remain, much like the house itself. Whispers about the once great house, its legend and its curse, still fall upon the villagers' ears. In spite of this, the current owners are convinced that these stories are nothing more than a hoax. With little regard for the truth, they had Briar Realty Corporation place the property back on sale. Like Pandora's box, the secrets that lie inside await to be discovered by brave souls. Like me, I guess. No matter what happens, take care not to be consumed by the curse. Good luck. Isabella. Oh, there we go. Incoming call. Rose.
Hello? Isabella? Are you there? Where are you?
I'm at school, I guess. A familiar jittery voice comes from the other end.
Oh, hey Rose! I'm at St. Goretti High. What's the matter?
What do you mean, what's the matter? It's the mansion, silly. I'm here and you're late. Jeez, we're on shift together. You promised. Oh my god, please don't tell me you forgot. You were planning on leaving me to check this place out on my own, weren't you? You chickened out.
Calm down. You know I take my promises seriously.
I'd like to believe that. So hurry up and get here. This place is huge. A bit too quiet since no one's lived here since, like, forever, but beautiful nonetheless.
Why are you so surprised? This isn't the first time you've been there.
I know. I just wish I could live in a place like this. It really takes my breath away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Not after the rumors that say it's haunted.
Jeez, never mind those rumors. Ghosts aren't real after all. And even if they are, which they are not, they can't do anything. They're nothing but spirits.
You don't know that! They might be listening or watching right now, and they might not be happy with you enough to curse you.
No offense, sweetie, but that's a bit of a stretch.
Believe it or not, it's better to be careful.
Right. You know, not every property we sell will end up with a dead body stuffed in a sofa.
And I think that mansion is where we'll likely find another one. I can feel it.
That was one time, Isabella! Loosen up! Wait, just get here ASAP, please. I'm getting bored afford being here on my own.
Fine, fine. Let me just finish up here. I'll be right there soon.
Okay, see you. Bye.
She hangs up before I can respond. Okay, so these two, sell properties? This must be the Briar Realty properties that they were talking about. So I guess I'm Isabella. Rose, still charming as ever.
Who was that?
I look up from my phone to see Rebecca. Becca, giving me a questioning look.
Oh, that? It's just Rose.
Rose? The one you said who trained you for your job back when you started? You're working together again?
Just for this property. We've been scoping out that big mansion down Anselm Village after the renovations. Today's sort of its grand opening to the public. The RC wants to give it one last check before we let potential buyers tour it this afternoon.
Oh, wait, mansion? That big spooky one you've been telling everyone about? Didn't you keep saying how it just gave you the creeps?
Has anybody ever told you your voice acting's really bad?
You actually went there? And you're going back?
Well, I did promise Rose I wouldn't ditch her. And besides, a job is a job. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
As soon as those words leave my mouth, Becca lets out a soft chuckle.
What's so funny?
Nothing. It's just that I didn't expect you to say that. Coming from you, it sounds so out of character.
I wonder if that's a hint.
I mean, no offense, but you've been freaking out about the place being creepy ever since you got assigned to it. Cursed rumors and all.
So I'm just checking down the bottom to see what I've got in terms of tabs. Okay.
I honestly thought you'd back out.
Not all the time. I could really use a huge amount of cash right now, and this is just the fastest way to get it. Plus, listen to this. Briar Realty wants it sold as soon as possible, and the agent who lands the deal is going to get a huge bonus. They never give bonuses like that. Getting that would make life so much easier.
So yeah, I was right. These two are part of Briar Realty.
They're desperate, I'm desperate, it's perfect.
A sympathetic look crosses her face.
You know, if you're really in urgent need of money, you could have just asked me. Or Ashton.
So you guys are really well off, are you?
We can always let you borrow, and you can pay us back whenever.
I have to keep myself from groaning out loud. In the years I've known her, I can already tell what to expect once she has that expression.
Becca!
I've noticed that you've been living off instant noodles these past few weeks.
She crosses her arms and grimaces at the thought. Yeah, I would too. Her voice slightly rises as she begins to scold me. Instantly, I'm reminded why Becca excels at teaching boisterous teenagers. So, these guys obviously aren't students then, surely?
Stop eating junk! They're cheap, but they're not good for you. You'll definitely end up in the hospital if you keep at it.
Here we go again. So here's where I get my choices. You're not my mum, or I eat other things too. I'm gonna go, I eat other things too.
Hey! I eat other things too.
Ooh, so got an achievement there. I fold my arms across my chest, mimicking her posture and giving her the best frown I can muster. The same one I'd use with my younger siblings when they're being difficult. Instead, she only raises an eyebrow at me.
That's not going to work on me. And I saw it when you were cleaning your flat last week. The instant noodle cups outnumber everything else.
You're just exaggerating. Did you even see what's in my cupboard yet? I'm not just living on instant noodles alone. I've got canned beans, peas, tuna, ham, and even hamburgers in there.
Becca's wrinkling her nose by the time I get to the end of the small list. She even went a little green on the last one. Yeah, I would too. I mean, hamburgers? Who would keep hamburgers in the cupboard? I would have laughed a little at that if I didn't know it would only lead to more reprimands from her.
Aren't those the same ones you won from the grocer's raffle more than a year ago?
You?
Oh, I sincerely hope you're checking the date stamps on those things before eating them. I don't want a repeat of last year. In any case, those are still not exactly healthier choices, Belle.
She shakes her head, possibly laughing at some funny, distant memory. When she looks up, I immediately brace myself. More words from her. Sometimes it's better just to let her talk until she's run out of things to say. But when she turns her attention back to me, there's only warmth in her smile.
What am I going to do with you?
She says this more to herself than me, her voice shifting to something kinder, even motherly, if I'm looking for the exact word.
I hope you know that it's impossible not to worry about you when you're like this. You don't have to keep eating the same thing. I already told you before. You're always free to reheat food in my fridge.
Thanks, Becca. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to keep babying me. You've been taking care of me since after I moved here. You have to take a break sometime. And before you ask again, no. You know I'm not a fan of borrowing money. And I'm not going to ask you to give me what you earned hard for yourself.
You and your pride. But suit yourself. The offer stays on the table, though.
I nod in response, if only to get her to drop the topic. But I'm pretty certain I'll never take up that offer. Ever. It has nothing to do with pride. I've simply seen plenty of times how friendships can take a turn for the worse, just because of a few unpaid debts. And yeah, I've seen that myself in my life. I don't want something like that to happen between me and Becca. We may argue about a lot of small, petty things, but she already feels like a real sister to me. I don't want to lose that friendship over something so trivial. Becca's movements, when she takes a quick glance at something behind me, snaps me out of my thoughts.
Well, enough chit-chat. Lunch is ending, and my students will be back any minute.
Yeah, so these guys are obviously in the school, but they aren't students. She's obviously a teacher.
We can catch up later. Good luck with your clients. You better treat us to lunch or something if you get that sale.
You bet!
With a small smile, she returns to her desk and begins sifting through the pages of a rather thick history book. She's probably working on next week's lesson plan. Or trying, at least. Her eyes are distant, and she doesn't seem too attentive to whatever's on the page. As if she heard my thoughts, Becca starts coughing heavily. Her hand hastily goes to her mouth to stifle the sounds. Oh, she doesn't sound well. This is precisely why I followed her here. Okay, so I followed her to the school. For this reason. For someone who makes a habit out of worrying about other people, Becca sure forgets how to take care of herself.
Hey, you sure you can manage on your own? I mean, you're still a bit feverish.
So she's been ill.
Hush, dear. Don't you worry about me. I'll just drink some medicine and I'll be right as rain.
I level her with a flat look. She's had a cold for a couple of days now. Something about the strange weather not agreeing with her lately. And despite my advice to take the week off and rest, I found her apartment empty when I dropped by this morning. So she's followed her to the school to make sure she's okay. So that's why she's here. She even left the medicine her doctors prescribed. Look who's being stubborn now.
You shouldn't even be working right now.
Seriously, you big baby. I'll be fine. For now, just go to work and stop making that Rose girl wait for you. I'll call you if I still feel bad, and you can come pick me up if it makes you feel any better.
She offers me a reassuring smile, and I can only sigh. Why do I even bother? There's no stopping her once she's decided on something. Defeated, I reach inside my bag to pull out the same bottle of medicine she left earlier. She looks at it warily when I place it in front of her. Unfortunately for her, this is one thing I'm not letting her have her way.
All right, but don't forget what the doctor said. Drink this on time. I'll see you later, okay?
There's an amused gleam in her eyes when she shifts them back to me.
Look who's playing the mother hen now.
Rebecca!
Okay. I won't tease anymore. I'll make sure to drink it, Mom.
Before I can retort, she casts another look at the clock. I take that as a sign to finally end the conversation and my short visit. With a small wave, I leave her to her classroom and her thoughts. I hail a passing taxi to take me to the property as soon as I leave the school grounds. Before I do, I'm going to check my relationship with her because... There we go. So, I've got a new relationship with Rebecca. I've got Isabella, Hannah, Zachary, Marianne, Rebecca, Ashton and Luke. So I haven't actually met any of these people yet. Okay, so let's return. The mansion is some ways out in the countryside, but I don't have trouble giving the driver directions. Apparently everyone in Luxbourne City knows of it, including every bit of rumour surrounding the place. In fact, just the mention of its name is enough for locals to give you cautious, sidelong glances. I learned that the hard way the first time I commuted there, and it only boosted my belief that there's something more to the house. Even the news of it being renovated and placed back up in the market has caused quite a stir. Thankfully, it died down a few weeks later. The place would have become a lot harder to sell otherwise. I avert my eyes from the window once the buildings shrink in the distance. We get a glimpse of the countryside soon, although a quick glance at my watch tells me we're still a few minutes away from our destination. Might as well get some work done. Rose did ask me to review the mansion's documents. I already looked over them last night, but you never know when things may go wrong. Life has always got ways of messing things up like that. Halfway through reading the papers, my phone rings again. I pick it up without looking, neatly tucking it between my ear and shoulder. It's probably just Rose again anyway.
Rose?
Guess again.
Hello, Ash. That voice.
Ash.
Bingo.
Hey, what's up?
Just checking if you're still cool later this evening.
You know, Ash, I could tell it was you since it comes up with your name on my phone.
You mean that thing with Zach?
Yeah. He even called in the middle of the night just to remind me.
No, don't worry. I didn't forget. I'll be there.
Cool. I'll see you later. What time do you get off?
Around 6 p.m.? I don't know. It's the first day of the Ermengarde Mansion's open house, and we're expecting quite a number of potential buyers. I'll be booked the whole afternoon.
Ermengarde Mansion?
You know, the big Jacobean mansion at Anselm Village? I'm on my way there right now, actually.
On your own?
Yeah, well, Rose is already there, but yeah.
I see. Looks like the scaredy cat finally toughened up.
I'm a scaredy cat, I'm not tough.
Shut up!
Ash chuckles, and I can't help but roll my eyes upon hearing it.
I'll see you later. Drop
Ashhole.
me a call when you're done. I'll see if I can pick you up.
I like that ashhole.
Whatever. Bye.
Stupid ashhole. Always teasing me whenever he sees a chance. I'll show him who's tough. So, we're back at the mansion. Takes a few more minutes until I finally reach the infamous mansion. Now, I just got a journal note, so let's see. Undiscovered journal entry. There we go. Before going to the Ermengarde mansion, Isabella Santos. What's that? Help, 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 help. Okay. I can't do anything there, I don't think. Undiscovered, undiscovered. Isabella Santos dropped by the former reminded the latter to take a flu medicine, so yeah, okay. I have to admit, the entire property does look wonderful from the outside. Yet, despite all of this, it does nothing to hide that something is just wrong. The surrounding area is unusually silent, and only the rustling of the leaves, is that supposed to be rustling of the leaves? That's a lot of leaves, can be heard as the occasional breeze passes. While Anselm Village is just a few miles away, everybody keeps their distance, on purpose. Perhaps out of fear, the horror of falling under the mansion's curse, that's the same flock of birds that passes every time. Somehow, it makes me feel sad. The lack of immediate human presence just makes this place all the more eerie than it has any right to be. If it's uncanny in broad daylight, I can't imagine how this place looks at night.
Are you planning to go inside that place, Missy?
You've got a creepy voice. The voice nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Without completely taking my eyes away from the house, I give the driver a confused nod. A beat passes while I wait for him to say more, but his only answer is a non-committal hum. Belatedly, it occurs to me that he must have been waiting for my payment. I mentally slap myself for spacing out and promptly hand him the fare with an apologetic look. I expected him to leave as soon as I've paid, but there's a hesitant expression on him, as if something hasn't been said yet.
Is there something wrong?
Look, Missy, I'm sure you've heard what the people are telling everyone about that place. Nobody likes to be disturbed when they're at peace, and I'm pretty sure whatever they say is in that house doesn't want to either. I admit they did a good job fixing it up, but there must have been a reason why even distant relatives of the family who used to own the house never lived in there despite inheriting it. No wonder they wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah, he's got a good point.
Maybe they just didn't like it?
You never know.
He drives off after, but what he has said has left a foreboding feeling in my gut. I breathe out a heavy sigh as I approach the house. After hearing enough of the rumours, I should have expected the conversation to take that turn. But I'm already here. Backing out is completely out of the question. It's not like I have a choice anyway. If I want to get that bonus and commission one way or another, I've got to sell this property. The door is ajar when I get to it, however, while my own copy of the keys dangle uselessly in my hand. Rose must have left it open when she arrived. That's weird. We may be the only people here this early, but I've never known her as someone careless. Entering, what greets me inside leaves me gaping. They've cleaned every corner, waxed the floor, dusted the antiques, searched every nook, cranny and crevice, and made it spick and span. All for the sake of making the mansion more enticing to the modern-day lords and ladies. But no matter how hard they try, the mansion still looks as soulless as ever. That reminds me of Beauty and the Beast up there, that painted stained glass window. Some really awesome looking antiques and things here as well. And some fairly creepy looking portraits. As though it's going to eat you alive. If you ask me, they should have just listened to what other people have been telling them and leave this place alone. Some things in this world are better left alone, never to be disturbed ever again.
Rose?
I call out.
Rose, I'm here. Where are you?
My voice echoes softly throughout the hallways. Oh, who am I kidding? In a place this big, I don't think she'll hear me no matter how deafening the silence is. She could be all the way on the other side of the property for all I know. Quickly, I reach for my phone and dial her number. But
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
what do you mean, has not been recognized? We were just talking a while ago. It's not like she was eaten by the house, right? Or maybe the ghosts did hear us talking and spirited her away, right? Right? No, Isabella, don't be ridiculous. She probably just wandered deeper into the house and lost signal or something. Yeah, but if she lost signal, you wouldn't get a number has not been recognized. You get an unable to connect. I dial her number again, hoping the call will connect this time.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
But to no avail. Oh boy. I have a very bad feeling about this. And this is where I'm going to leave it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned, there will be another video on this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. Also hit subscribe and the notification bell. You do not want to miss the videos I upload. I upload every day. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.